if you would have told me 4 months ago that I would be a Christian or believing in Jesus or reading the Old Testament or anything of the sort, I would have bet you $1 million or everything I own that would not be the case. Every experience I ever had in jail or going through prison, I always gravitated towards the worst of the worst in the bunch, the ones that wanted to goof around, get around the rules with the same plan to do the same thing when we got out. And for some reason this time when I was at intake, I gravitated towards a different person, and it's not his real name, so we'll use it on here. His name is Barry, we'll say. And our initial conversation was a mix between the normal stuff about future plans for criminal activity and etc. And he kind of said he wants no part in it, but he could make an introduction. And the next time he came up to me, he said, I want to talk to you about Jesus. And I did everything within myself not to roll my eyes at him. And my situation at the time was looking really grim. My PO told me, you're not getting the ATR. I had an array of new charges from a different county. I just got transported from 2 hours away. And he tells me about his situation. And he'd been on the run for 6 years, ran away from ES, and they were sending him to prison for 4.5 years. And then I watched him start fasting and start praying. And he started talking about Jesus. And then he had his visit with his PO. And she said, I've never been so moved after talking with someone. Let's talk again at 3. And he tells me, I think something good's going to happen. And this whole time, this guy is just content as can be. His mom tells him, and his girlfriend tells him, or his wife tells him that he's going to go to prison for 4.5 years, and he's just not a care in the world talking to anybody about Jesus or God that he can. Then he gets on a second visit, and the lady says, can you pay a large sum? It was like $4,000 plus, and we'll let you out. And he's thinking that's how he doesn't have that kind of money. He's got 3 kids. Just so happens some priests that he did a side tile job for stopped by his house while he was in jail, heard the situation, gave the rest of the money. Long story short, he was out that Monday. He just had a total of 6 days once he made it to Wisconsin from where he was after being on the run for 6 years. So maybe it's not the purest of intentions, but I said, Jesus is real. I'm going to believe in Jesus, and I'm going to do what Barry just did, and I'm going to pray my way out of jail. And so I started reading the Bible. I started watching the jail ministry church services, and I was kind of half in, half out for a little bit. And then I read the parable about, or maybe it's not a parable, I think it's an actual story, about Jesus being in the boat with his disciples and the big storm, and they all panic and they say, Lord, Lord, don't you care? And he said, you still have little faith. And I don't know why, but that just like made me laugh. I've really related to that instance because I was sitting there super anxious about everything. And so I started praying, got really into it, read the whole New Testament, and pretty much going Bible study 3 times a week, fully indulged myself in the Bible and Jesus and praying, and just that belief, and I kind of accepted the fact that he is very real, and that the life that he wants us to live is so much better than the life that we want to live on our own.